Just a quick disclaimer that all comments made in this video are just my own opinion on the situation. Please don't send hate to anyone involved in this video. Hey guys, welcome to Weekly Tea View, the segment on my channel where we recap all the tea from the past week. Today we're going to be talking about Trisha Paytas, Tana Mongeau, and Jeffree Star. Starting off with Trisha Paytas, her Dish with Trish podcast just got cancelled this week. The company she was working with, which was PodcastOne, decided to terminate production of the podcast simply because they weren't making enough money from it. The last 5 podcasts she posted had no ads on them at all, so they couldn't really justify the time and resources that went into creating it. Although Trisha stated that PodcastOne barely did anything for her. She paid for everything out of pocket, including her fancy set and equipment. Most of the guests she had on were people that she asked herself, and she said PodcastOne barely ever got her new guests on her show and only minimally edited her videos and were just in charge of posting them, and that was basically it. And they weren't even promoting her podcast like they were with many of their other podcasts either, so it's not like they were losing money by keeping the podcast on. She did get quite a lot of sponsors at the start of her podcast pre-COVID when she could have all these guests like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star on, but even with all those ads, she only got paid $8,400 from PodcastOne. Even with that very little pay, she would have still wanted to continue doing the podcast because she says she truly enjoyed the process and thinks that she's really good at interviewing people, so it's a shame that they canceled on her. My opinion on this, I know firsthand that when you only hear Trisha's side of the story, it can be very far from the truth. I'm certain PodcastOne's cost of running Trisha's podcast weren't as low as she made it out to seem. Editing those long-ass podcasts can't be an easy task, which obviously she doesn't know anything about because she doesn't edit. I also see some custom-made thumbnails here and there on her podcast channel, and you know she didn't make them herself. She's currently thinking about maybe signing on to another podcast company or possibly just running the podcast independently herself and reaching out to sponsors. It's also really difficult for her to work with brands too because of her image and work in the sex industry, so she's gonna have a bit of a hard time with that. Most people in the comments seem to be telling her to just pursue this independently herself, considering the fact that she would just do it for free anyway. Now, let's move on to talk about Tana Mongeau. You guys already know, I'm like so done with her excuses for shitty behavior and her coming out saying that she's gonna take accountability. Like, that's so freaking obnoxious. It's been like 2 months since Simply Nessa and Colin Berry have come out with videos about Tana. Tana herself says that she's at fault, and so she's going to be coming out with multiple apology videos taking accountability for everything. And you would think that this is the perfect time to come out with an apology video series, right? You know, since we're all supposed to be quarantined and alone inside. False. The only thing Tana hasn't been doing all this time has been staying home and working on these apology videos, which, by the way, no one asked for multiple apology videos. Like, what the f? Nope, it's just sit down, talk from your heart, upload the video, easy as that. I don't know what kind of high production apology videos she's been working on that's taking months for her at this point. Every now and then she does come out with like a mini apology on her Instagram story and says that she's gonna take accountability, which is her favorite thing to say, and then goes on to repeat the same actions over and over again.
What's up guys, I just want to come on here and tell you I'm sorry for being so inactive in so many ways.
No, but you have not been inactive in so many ways. The only place where you've been inactive is your own damn YouTube channel.
When it comes to the YouTube video, I promise that is still coming. I just want to say there's no excuse for that.
Exactly, there's no excuse for that, so I don't know what you're trying to say exactly. Also, mind you, at some point she said that the video is in the process of uploading, and this was like 5 days ago, so I don't know what kind of video takes that long to upload.
And I take full accountability for how long it has taken, and I know that. But I hired a full-time live-in therapist and life coach, and that's kind of what I've been doing off camera. I'll be telling you guys more about that and documenting it and showing it. But things are coming, and I love you.
So now she's living with a therapist? Doesn't she also live with like 10 other people? I don't know, man. I might be wrong because they all just moved, but that's an interesting living situation, I must say. And here's his Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like the guy. Like, he gives some pretty good advice in some of his posts. But I just find it so fucking hilarious that he has this post putting in accountability as his buzzword of the day or whatever. It's just so hilarious. Like, is this where Tana learned what this word means? Like, probably. So she says she's gonna take accountability for everything and stop going out and partying and living with her therapist and whatnot. Meanwhile, she's been out drinking with Jake Paul and buying sneakers with Cool Kicks, hanging out with that Mason dude from Wizards of Waverly Place, hanging out with the girl from that dating show on Netflix. Like, this girl is literally everywhere right now except for her own freaking YouTube channel. Also, are we going to talk about how Jake Paul is speaking in this, or no? Or are we just going to ignore it?
It's called 23.
23?
I think it's called that.
Well, what is it about, Jake?
It's about Michael Jordan. I don't fuck with that YouTube shit. It's a dead end. They don't pay shit. Fuck you, YouTube.
And now we're going to talk about Jeffree Star. I personally think he's been doing the absolute most lately to distract people from his whole scandal with Shane. And I think for the most part, he's kind of been successful at it. I'm not gonna lie, people do seem to have forgotten. First, there was his nude palette, which was named Orgy, and a lot of people were just confused or shocked at the naming. And now he's been teasing a new man all over his Twitter. He posted this picture saying, "Thankful for all the blessings God has brought into my life this year." He also posted another picture saying, "Hi, how are you?" And some people were not happy. One person tweeted, "Jeffree Star has a black boyfriend after being outed as a racist. Bye, I'm not even finna stay for this." And another user tweeted, "I know I've made a career off of talking shit about anyone and everyone, and even though I've been caught multiple times being a racist, don't pay attention to that because my new paid boyfriend is a person of color, Jeffree Star." So then Jeffree went on a little Twitter rant saying, "I wonder if the people who constantly tell me to kill myself every minute of the day ever get tired or hungry. I know it's devastating news for some people, but I don't give money to anyone I'm dating or anyone who is f***ing me. Work on your own insecurities, sis. I'm not the problem. Worry about how to pay your own bills, not who's in my mouth. Thank you, God bless." Well, that's unrelated to what people are criticizing him for. I just hate it when rich people keep making things about money. Like, what the fuck? No one was even talking about that? What does this have to do with people not being able to pay their bills? And yeah, that was pretty much it for that. Let me know down below how you guys feel about all this. Are people justified to be mad at Jeffree Star? I don't know, man. Comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week. All right, bye.